Hey Capricorn, it's Kat here to do your shadow read for the month of June. Just so you know, this is not a standard reading. This is a reading about the aspects of self or others that we refuse to see, or that we don't know are necessarily there. You may see shadow aspects of the person you're with in this reading as well. That's a possibility that has come up as I've been doing these. But that is not my intention to focus on them. My intention is to focus on you. If you're here listening to a shadow read, I'm going to assume that you want to hear what those aspects are. This is not an overly positive, happy, happy, joy, joy reading. So if you're not into that, you can certainly click off. I do not pick cards from the deck. I allow Spirit to choose those cards. As I go through the reading, I will tell you what the cards are, and then we'll come back and revisit them. So if you want to fast forward, you can certainly do that. This will not resonate with everyone. If it does not resonate with you, you can take what does and leave the rest behind, or check out your moon, rising, or Venus sign. There may be something there that may resonate with you more fully this month, okay? These aspects are specific to the sign that I'm reading for. And excuse me, my cards just fell off the table. And they do not necessarily apply to anyone cross-watching. In fact, I would encourage you, if you are cross-watching, I'm going to draw those again. If you are cross-watching, to skip over to your own reading and leave this for the individual whose sign it is for. It's not intended for cross-watchers, to be honest with you. And quite frankly, it's about their shadow aspects and not your relationship. So that's all I have to say about that. I've got Eight of Pentacles in the center of the spread for the querent. King of Swords crossing that is the obstacle here, and this Celtic cross cards are new, guys. I just got this deck, so sorry if they're a little slippery. I'm grabbing them left and right. That's how it's working right now. Would you like me to receive this? Okay. And we've got the Empress at the bottom of the deck in reverse, Capricorn. So let's go through it. Eight of Pentacles at the center of the spread here. This is working hard on a project, career, some aspect, making a home, some aspect of something that you're doing right now that you're working hard on and focusing on, putting all your attention into, either to make yourself money or to secure your legacy, home and hearth, etc. Then I've got the King of Swords crossing that. King of Swords, very blunt. Could be you, could be someone in your environment. Definitely masculine energy, very blunt, to the point. Cuts out anything that has to do with ambiguity. Doesn't like lies. Is all about the truth, even if it's at the expense of other people. We've got the Four of Swords at the bottom of the spread, so reconnecting with Spirit, taking some time out and reinvigorating that connection that you have with the divine. In the recent past, the Fool in reverse, so not having taken a leap of faith, or not having acted impulsively, depending on how you read this card. In this particular card, I like to read it as Alice in Wonderland. I almost get this impression of someone following the white rabbit down the rabbit hole once again. In this case, you did not. Okay? We've got the Ten of Wands here with the Phoenix at the top of the spread here. In the conscious mind, so this is laying those burdens down. You're finally in a position to be the Phoenix, reborn from the flames, from the ashes, all those burdens that you've carried, rising up from those flames into your new life, which is great to see. In the beginning, or in the upcoming future, we've got Temperance here, so there will be a need for you to be a little bit patient about whatever you're working on and that coming to completion or fruition, however that works for you. You can see here you've got two wafts of smoke going from one cup to the next, and smoke is used to connect with the divine, right? Father Sky. So and then you've got Mother Earth here with the flowers, right? You've got the white lilies and the red roses, passion, purity of intent. So we'll need a little bit of patience for all of this to kind of come together for you, but there is going to be an ebb and flow to life that you need to kind of ride with the wave a little bit in this upcoming couple of weeks, okay? At the bottom of the spread here, this Four of Cups was in reverse. Four of Cups in the upright is not accepting an offer of love or help, right? Here you're accepting offers, okay? You're balancing on all of the cups you can. You're taking whatever comes your way. That's a really great energy of receival. I like to see that. Looks like this new start laying these burdens down has been good for you. Lady of Swords here in your environment. So this is like Knight of Swords. This is a message coming in. Some more clarity, clarification, a message of some kind. Can be a text message, a letter, something unexpected that will give you some clarity on a situation you've been waiting to get an answer on. I also get the Strength card here. You can see the sun and moon, and you've got the lion and the eagle. Interesting. Along with the infinity serpent, right? So, you're fighting your inner demons, the light and the shadow within, the hopes and fears. Here, I think, on 1 minute you're very hopeful for the situation, and everything's going well, and you're like, this is great, this is my new situation, I love it. And the next one you're like, oh no, but what about this and this and this and this? So I think you just need some temperance to kind of ride these waves and these emotional issues that you're going through. And again, this is sorry, hold on a second, I'm just getting something here. Dark and light, yin and yang. This also may be you and another partner going back and forth, having different ideas about how things are resolved. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Okay, here we've got the Six of Cups. So this was a return of a friend with an offer of help from the past. I don't think that's happening right now. And perhaps you feel disconnected from people in the past right now because it's on hold. And I think that's maybe so that this situation can resolve itself. And also that whatever you're working on can kind of be completed and come to fruition. It's interesting to me that the King of Swords here, truth and clarity and cutting through the bullshit and clearing up the lies and all of that, is also kind of mirrored by this Lady of Swords in your environment. So you've got Lady of Swords and King of Swords. So you definitely have some information coming in that is unexpected, that is going to give you clarity on something. And I'm just trying to see what that is. And I think it may be this endeavor that you're dealing with right now, that you're putting all this work into. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to make something out of this. 1 second here. I also feel like, sorry, this deck is very new. Just had to check something. This is actually the second card. So this is actually the High Priestess in reverse, and I should have probably got that. So you've got the Infinity Serpent. You've got the Lion of Judas, right? You've got Jesus here. You've got the Eagle, the Messenger of Spirit, Sun and Moon. Knowing and inner knowing, and intuitive knowing, connection with spirit, and that's in reverse. Okay, I'm going to get clarity for you. And then the Empress is in reverse as well. So Empress is in that stage to birth new things into your life. I think that's not happening right now because I think you're focused on this. But I want clarity on the swords here in this read. The other things all make sense to me. You're putting down your burdens. You're like rising like a phoenix from the ashes with all the trials and tribulations you've been through to to enjoy your new life. You've got the ebb and flow here. You've got passion and purity of intention here. You've got sun rising over the mountains, you know, all good stuff. Taking time out, reconnecting spiritually with spirit. Love that. Love that you're accepting help from other people. But this is not the same old thing either. It's not going down the same old rabbit hole as the past. You've taken a new path here, which I really, really, really like. But High Priestess, I'm very interested in that. Oops, there's a being intuitive. Looks like you've moved on from waters of piranhas. You had some issues in the past that were kind of dark, being circled by piranhas in the water. You've moved on from that. You've gotten in your ship and just taken off. This wanted to come out as well. And this is, again, the Page of Cups in reverse. So, like the Four of Cups in reverse, the Page of Cups in reverse. Let's see here. Two of Cups. So there is a soulmate here in your environment. You guys are twin flames. Maybe that's where this Lady of Swords and Knight of Swords or King of Swords are coming in as a pair. You know, this is a soul connection, so the cups are the soul connection. Two of Cups is a soul connection, and the lovers are the passion connection. And that's when you know you have a twin flame, so we'll see if that comes out. And the Chariot, you've moved on. You've moved on to bigger and better things, and you are the driver of your own chariot. So maybe this is new for you, moving on to this new thing. You've been in this rabbit hole, going down this rabbit hole, the same old crap over and over so many times that this is all like very confusing and kind of scary here, and it challenges your intuition, right? And the Hermit is that spiritual connection with your higher self, and that is in reverse. So maybe that's, and your High Priestess is in reverse, so maybe that's where it is. Like, do I really know? Page of Swords. So messages. Interesting. Ace of Cups. So this is an offer of love and abundance. Okay. And this is the Empress and the Upright. I think once you become more comfortable with your situation and you reconnect with spirit and your higher self, you know, once some of this work is done and you're a little more settled in this new situation, because I get the feeling this is all brand new to you, that you will be able to reemerge as that nurturing, you know, caretaking, not like people pleasing, that's not what I mean, but nurturing Mother Gaia energy that you were before, which has temporarily been put in the reverse because you got all this other stuff going on. Plus, I think that was part of the karmic turn of the wheel here, and the Chariot moving on was going down that rabbit hole of like taking care of people to moving on to less choppy waters here, and being able to rebirth something new for yourself and for the significant other that you have here in this Two of Cups. Additionally, I get the Seven of Pentacles, so you're kind of waiting for things to grow, and it's going to take some time. It's going to take some temperance, right? It's going to take some patience here, waiting for these things to grow. The flowers are growing. You know, you've got the keys here to make everything come to life for you in this new situation. There's absolutely love here, and you've got your Two of Cups, so you've got that soul connection, which is great to see. But I think you're missing friends from the past here. And then you've got the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. So Three of Pentacles is being the architect of your own life. So I think that's kind of where we're coming from. Okay, I got it now. Sorry, it took me a minute to get up to speed here with this new deck on this card. So you've got High Priestess, the Hermit, and Three of Pentacles in the reverse. To me, I get the feeling that you don't feel like you're the architect and in control of your own life right now. That things are just happening and you're just going along for the ride because it's something new, right? This is different. You're moving on from the difficulties. You're moving on with a significant other. You're in this new situation here and you don't feel like you're in control. you know? And that's throwing you all off here, I think, because in the past you have been able to be in control. Sometimes taking care of other people or taking care of people in that Empress role, which is in reverse right now. You can see her. She has like this child with her, right? Right? Sometimes being in that role is control, you know, even though things seem crazy and whatever, it's control because you know exactly what needs to be done and where to go and what to do. And every day is defined when you're taking care of other people, right? Whatever they need is what is being done. So there's no confusion about what do I do with myself, right? Like, how do I spend my day? Like, what am I doing? This is a whole new life that's kind of coming up here. So for whoever I'm connecting with here, that's what I'm getting, okay? That you don't feel like you're in control, you're not the architect of your own life right now, you're just kind of going with this new flow, right? It'll take time to adjust to it, honestly. You will get your Empress mojo back because there is something you're working on right now, and there will be something in that for you. You're just starting to plant seeds right now, okay? Yep, see? She's in reverse again. So, you know, I think that's an Empress again. She's come up 3 times, by the way. So, it's not having that, right? That's in question. And you've got King of Wands, so there's definitely passion here for this other individual in your sphere. See, Wheel of Fortune, you guys. The Wheel of Fortune has moved, has changed. The Chariot has moved. You've moved on into something that you're not as in control of. So it feels. See, you're very guarded. This is Nine of. It's Nine of Swords. Oh, Nine of Swords is keeping you up at night. All these fears about what might happen or might not happen, or something might go awry or wrong. And you know what? It's because you don't have everybody else to worry about right now, I think. Honestly, I'm not trying to be flip. I really think that's the case. Yeah. Yeah. Will people ever come see us again? Will my friends ever come back? Will these people come into my life again? Yeah. Keeping you up at night here, right? And you don't have the nightmares of the past, right? Because here you had piranhas like nipping at your boat. God forbid you fell out, you know, they'd eat you alive. So this is a very tenuous situation from which you moved on, you know. Wheel of Fortune happened, you got your Chariot, and you took off. And you used to have a lot of things keeping you up at night here. This is like looming over you, right? The shadow is looming over you. Now it's in reverse. I mean, I still think that there's some worries and fears, but you don't have the worries and fears that you had before to keep you up at night that are like distracting you from everything. You know? It reminds me of taking care of an elderly parent or because I've been in that situation. And when you have something like that going on, what keeps you up at night is, you know, is this enough? Is that enough? Have I done the right thing? You know, blah, blah, blah. When you have that kind of energy that you're always focused on, it takes you off the energy of self, right? It takes you off your own self-growth, transformation, things you want to do, things you enjoy, things you love. And it's a whole rediscovery of all of that, you know, in the start of this new life. So let me just get one dark mirror card here for you guys. See what the capstone is of the read. Ooh, that slid out. See what this one is. Downcast Pride. Now these are oracle cards, and they may not resonate for everyone whom the reading resonated for, but there's someone in particular that this is meant to speak to, so we'll see what it says. Okay. Bending to adapt becomes an excuse for the habit of bending. The root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the gray sky. Survival is a direct consequence of adaptation. What we call adaptation is not the result of subtle but constantly constructive change of ourselves, but rather a mockery of it, as we strip day by day of our dignity in order to avoid conflict with a world that would spread us apart. How can we endure this? Maybe through the power of responsibility or through a hidden core of integrity. Sometimes we don't use the best part of us, but rather we draw from the ugliest. We survive and bend our knees because we draw out from the laziness, fear, and disgust. We let our deepest roots go dry, replaced by what can only be called a surge of lack of self-esteem. So I'm going to repeat that. A surge or lack of self-esteem. We are deluded when we think that we are only sacrificing our pride. We cling to vanity, but we can't afford dignity. Isn't that sad? Honestly, the true delusion is our faith in fall and winter, while we discard spring and summer as fairy tales. The sky can change color too. As long as we sometimes look up, we will have the ability to notice it. So this is about having lived in difficult circumstances and coming out of it, right? When the only thing we can do to survive is bend our knees, we're looking at the ground. Okay? And this is saying a surge of lack of self-esteem, because while we're distracted by all these other things in our life, we don't have to think about ourselves, you know? We don't think about, how do I look going to the grocery store? Or am I doing the right thing with myself? Have I grown as a person? Am I evolving as a person? Am I doing good in my community? Like, as long as we have all these other things that are keeping us constantly focused on other people and other situations and in that codependent kind of like people-pleasing, caretaking situation, then we don't have to look at ourselves. And once all that smoke clears, it's like I said, when you're taking care of an elderly parent, for example, when that smoke clears and then you're left to be like, oh, 5 years passed, 10 years passed, 15 years passed, 20 years passed, right? You can have this surge of like, oh my God, what have I done? Where have I been? Who am I now? That kind of thing. And I get the gist of that from this reading. It's the, who am I now? What am I doing? Where am I going now? Where does this leave me? Because that's a shock to the system, right? When it all like kind of dries up and ends and things get better and the sun comes out and the phoenix rises from the flames and it's like, okay, now everything's like hunky-dory. The body isn't used to it, The body keeps the score, right? So we're not used to that, like, weird empty space where we have to kind of think of ourselves and look at ourselves and say, okay, now what am I going to do, right? Like, what am I going to do with myself today? And I've had friends who've had, spouses pass away who have gone through the same kind of thing. It's a real challenge to kind of reorganize your life around new things. And I'm not saying that that's the situation with anyone here. It may be or may not be. It may be as simple as changing jobs or changing locations or, doing something that you really love. Or maybe you were in an office 24/7 and now all of a sudden you are free and you have all this time and you're like, what am I doing with myself? But I'm going to end with this phoenix rising out of the flames here. Having put all those burdens down, and the stats represent burdens that you were carrying, and setting them ablaze so that you become the phoenix rising up out of the smoke here, rising up out of the ashes into your new life that is about you, right? Just have some temperance and have some patience with yourself, because it's going to take time to adjust and to figure out exactly who and what it is that you want to do with the remainder of the time that you have left, And without the distractions of everyone else and all the other things, without all those piranhas in the water, you finally have the opportunity. This is a very positive thing. You finally have the opportunity to become the phoenix, to blaze a trail for yourself. Maybe it's, maybe you want to volunteer and help other people to take up some of that slack for where you've been in that Empress position before, right? That's a positive thing. That might be helpful as well. So if this resonated with you, please like the video, share, and subscribe so that you get notifications later on in the month. Yeah, that's pretty much it, Capricorn, and I will talk to you at the mid-month, okay, guys? Love you. Take care. Bye-bye.